A $50 car sitting for 7 months isn't inventory, it's a liability. 900 American dealers are currently underwater. And the brand new Jeep you're looking at? It's been gathering dust for 200 days. The bubble isn't just leaking, it's bursting. Here is exactly why the dealership model is failing, and how you can use it to your advantage. Average car prices have officially crossed the $50 mark. That's more than the annual salary of the person trying to buy one. We're watching luxury SUVs like the XC90 and Lincoln Nautilus quietly rot for over 200 days. But here's the kicker. The market hasn't crashed because the game is rigged. Instead of slashing prices, manufacturers and dealers are using a shadow system to hide the surplus and keep prices artificially high. I'm breaking down the 9-tier hidden strategy they use to make unsold cars disappear. By the end of this, you'll never look at a dealer lot the same way again. Let's expose the lie. This next segment is the aha moment where you flip the script. Most buyers think the dealer is the one in power. You're about to show them the dealer is actually a hostage. Here's the secret the industry doesn't want you to know. Dealers don't actually own the cars you see. They're renting them through a high-stakes loan called floor plan financing. Banks front the cash for every vehicle. For the first 90 days, it's a free ride, but then the clock turns into a time bomb. We're talking $50 in interest per car. Every single day. If a lot has 200 stagnant cars, they're bleeding $300 a month in pure loss. And when that car hits the 1-year mark, the bank demands a massive curtailment payment, thousands in cold hard cash just to keep the lights on. They aren't just desperate to sell, they're drowning. Why are these lots overflowing? Because buyers are waking up to the modern car trap. We're being forced to pay $60 for fragile CVT transmissions, turbo engines with questionable lifespans, and subscriptions for features you already paid for. But here's the dark side no one mentions. Your new car is a spy. 75% of new vehicles now come hardwired with factory GPS tracking that you can't just turn off. It's monitoring your speed, your braking habits, and your location, harvesting your data to sell it back to the highest bidder. You aren't just buying a vehicle, you're buying a mobile surveillance unit that's designed to expire. And the manufacturers? They're betting you won't care. It gets worse. Every single major car brand has officially failed basic privacy tests. You think you're buying a $50 SUV? No. You're buying a high-priced surveillance device that sells your driving habits to insurance giants behind your back. We've already seen massive lawsuits against companies like Allstate for jacking up premiums using this secret data. So now, you're paying $700 a month for a car that spies on you. Hits you with a $1,200 repair bill for a single faulty sensor. And increases your insurance costs every time you brake too hard. Manufacturers have replaced reliability with Big Brother tech, and they're wondering why their $80 inventory is rotting in the sun. The first 90 days are the honeymoon phase, standard discounts. Nothing fancy, but once that clock hits day 91, the gloves come off. Welcome to the industry's dirtiest secret, punching. When a dealer is desperate to unlock a massive $80 bonus, they'll commit what I call a ghost sale. They manipulate the RDR system to report a car as sold to the manufacturer, even though it's still sitting right there on the lot. They get their fat check. The manufacturer sees a success. But you're looking at a ghost. It's pure market manipulation designed to fake demand while the inventory pile-up continues to bleed. And we're only at Tier 2. Here is the bait and switch that should make your blood boil. Once a car is punched, the warranty clock is dead, and it can never be sold as new again. So, they slap on a certified pre-owned sticker and call it an executive demo, even if it only has 12 miles on the dash. You see a $3 discount and think you've won. Wrong. The dealer already pocketed a massive manufacturer bonus on that VIN. They could have slashed $10 off and still turned a profit. But they'd rather keep that equity in their pocket. They let you feel like a winner while they laugh all the way to the bank. Because they rigged the scoreboard before you even stepped on the lot. Welcome to Tier 3, the service loaner scam. When a car becomes a financial anchor, dealers don't drop the price. They sell it to themselves. By shifting dead inventory into the loaner fleet, they pull off a hat-trick of manipulation. First, They kill the high-interest floor plan clock instantly. Second, the manufacturer actually pays them a monthly stipend to keep that car in service. But here is the real kicker: lot rot. A car sitting for 300 days is a dying machine. Flat tires, seized brakes, and toasted batteries. By forcing that car into the loaner fleet, they're using you to recondition it. You drive it, keep the fluids moving, and fix the rot. A few months later, they retire it and sell it as a premium CPO for a massive profit. They've turned a bleeding liability into a revenue-generating machine. And you're the one paying for the privilege of buying their hand-me-down at a premium. The house always wins, unless you know the play. Welcome to Tier 4. The dealer trade shuffle, or as I call it, the inventory hot potato. When a car becomes a toxic acid, dealers don't drop the price, they play musical chairs. That new arrival you just saw in Miami? It's likely a 120-day-old failure shipped in from a snowstorm in Minneapolis. Instead of taking a loss, massive dealer groups use high-tech software like V-Auto to track market day supply, identifying exactly where they can dump their aging mistakes on unsuspecting buyers. They shuffle these VINs across state lines like a deck of cards, racking up transport miles and hiding the fact that the car has been rotting for months elsewhere. You think you're getting the first pick of a fresh shipment, but you're actually buying another dealer's unsellable problem. It's a nationwide shell game designed to keep prices high and your guard down. And the clock is still ticking. We've reached Tier 5, the wholesale auction, the dealer's ultimate admission of defeat. When every trick in the book fails, they wave the white flag and ship that rotting inventory to massive auction houses like Mannheim or Edesa. They'd rather take a brutal $5 loss and stop the interest bleeding than let that car sit one more day. But here is the insider secret that will change how you shop. You know those used cars at big box retailers with only 40 miles on the odometer? Those aren't trade-ins. Those are the unsold failures dumped at auction for pennies on the dollar. The dealership's trash becomes a goldmine for independent retailers, who then flip them back to you at a premium. The car didn't change, the paperwork did. It's a multi-billion-dollar cycle of dumping debt. And most buyers are paying full price for a car the original dealer couldn't wait to get rid of. Now, the real question is, where do they hide the cars that don't make it to auction? When a specific model becomes a brand-wide disaster, manufacturers pull the lever on Tier 6, the rental fleet dumping ground. Hertz, Avis, and Enterprise aren't just rental agencies, they are the industry's garbage disposal. Here's the scam. The factory dumps thousands of unsellable sedans onto these fleets at a massive discount, instantly clearing their books. But there's a hidden catch: the repurchase program. After a year of being thrashed by tourists and racking up 25,000 hard miles at the airport, these cars return to the dealership as program cars. It's a brilliant, dirty cycle. They take a car no one wanted to buy new, let the rental market beat it into submission, and then flip it to you as used inventory because it's easier to sell a used failure than a new one. You aren't buying a well-maintained vehicle. You're buying a car that's finished its tour of duty in the rental trenches. And it's exactly why the used market is flooded with junk. Welcome to Tier 7, the gray market export, the shadiest play in the book. Ever wonder why that Raptor or Escalade has been sitting for 200 days but you still can't get a deal? It's because it's not actually for you. It's waiting for an overseas ticket. In Dubai or China, a $100 American SUV flips for $250 instantly. To bypass strict factory bans, dealers use straw buyers, front men paid to fake a personal purchase before shipping the vehicle across the globe. It's a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. If the manufacturer finds out, the dealer loses their franchise. But with U.S. exports to the Middle East surging by 20% in 2025, the profit is too high to ignore. Your local inventory is being siphoned off to the highest global bidder, leaving you with the scraps while they chase six-figure markups in the shadows. This isn't just a car sale, it's an international heist. If a luxury truck is a shady export, then the base model sedan is an outcast. Welcome to Tier 8, emerging market dumping. When a 2025 model fails in America, it's shipped to West Africa or Central America. where it's marketed as high-tech. Dealers punch these cars to make them technically used, slashing import taxes and disappearing the evidence of their failure. But it gets darker. We've reached the final, most extreme tier, the execution. You'll ask, why destroy a perfectly good car instead of selling it cheap? 2 words. Brand protection. Manufacturers would rather crush a $40 vehicle into a cube of scrap metal than devalue their brand by giving you a massive discount. They choose destruction over affordability to protect their luxury image and dodge legal liabilities. It's the ultimate middle finger to the American consumer. They aren't just hiding the inventory, they're executing it to keep your prices sky high. The final tier is the industry's darkest secret: burning stock. Just like luxury fashion, car brands will literally execute unsold inventory rather than let you buy it at a discount. Why? Because they'd rather crush a $50 SUV into a cube of scrap than devalue their premium image. It's not about profit, it's about optics. But it's also about the legal trap. When thousands of vehicles fail emissions or safety standards, think Dieselgate, they can't legally be sold. So, they're depolluted, stripped of their lifeblood, and fed into an industrial shredder. The car finally gets sold, but only as raw aluminum and copper to a scrap processor. The system doesn't want you to have a bargain, it wants you out of the loop entirely. Let's look at how you fight back. Here is the bottom line. Every rotting car on that lot is a multi-million-dollar mistake. And you are being sent the bill. That $2 market adjustment fee? It's not about supply and demand. It's an unsold inventory tax forced on you to cover the dealer's massive interest losses. They aren't just selling you a car, they're making you bail them out of their own failure. Next time a salesman claims it's the best price, remember the 9-tier ghost system. They are desperate to hide the truth. But now you hold the cards. Stop being their insurance policy. Play the game smarter, or don't play at all. See you in the next one.